we'll now then go to our adjourning motions, and I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Blumenfield first.
Thank you. Colleagues, it's our custom to adjourn these meetings in the honor of members of our community who we've known over the years who have touched our neighborhoods. And although I did not know Max Steinberg personally, his loss and the life he left touched me and touched millions here in the San Fernando Valley, where he grew up and was educated. It's also where he fought and he died defending the Jewish homeland, as I'm sure you've heard in the newspapers. Max was a native son of Los Angeles. He was born and raised in the same Woodland Hills community I live in by his loving parents, Stuart and Evie. Stuart, who is here with us today. Max was a devoted brother to younger siblings Jake and Paige, and loyal friend to many. His friends describe Max's energetic outlook on life, his love of junk food, the New England Patriots, and Bob Marley. A graduate of El Camino, Max was a student at Pierce College when he visited Israel, along with his brother and sister. He was inspired by the land and the people, and he returned to Israel 3 months later to join the Israeli Defense Forces. He became what's known as a lone soldier, a member of the Golani Brigade, one of IDF's most decorated units. Max's brother told the Jewish Journal that Max found himself in Israel. Although he was not Israeli and he spoke no Hebrew, he served as an IDF as a sharpshooter, and he rose quickly through the ranks to that of corporal. Although small in stature, being 5'3", he earned the nickname the Mighty Max, or Little Dynamo. As the recent conflict in Gaza began, Max's empathy toward others was on display as he told his family that he was worried, not for himself, but for them, calling his family daily to check in and let them know that he was all right. Max was sadly killed, along with 12 fellow soldiers, when an armed personnel carrier in which he was riding came under attack during operations in Shahaya, a Hamas stronghold in Gaza City. Max, who was posthumously promoted to the rank of sergeant, died valiantly, defending the Jewish people and the country he loved so dearly. And the people of Israel loved him back. When he was laid to rest last week at Mount Herzl in Jerusalem, alongside fellow warriors, presidents, prime ministers, and the visionary Zionist Theodore Herzl, an estimated 30,000 mourners gathered to pay their respects to this remarkable young man from the San Fernando Valley. I wish I could say that Max would be the last young person to die in this conflict. But as the Consul General just mentioned, just today we had 2 additional soldiers killed and another soldier was kidnapped and taken hostage. I wish peace for the region, and as we adjourn in Max's memory, we join in mourning with his parents, siblings, and all those who loved and knew Max. May he rest in peace. Am Yisrael Chai.
Mr. Englander, on this very
If I could add to that, and I want to thank you so much. I picked up my daughter yesterday from the airport from Israel, and she was there. She's 18. She was there at the time for birthright. And upon learning what happened to Max, while she didn't know him personally, she knew a lot of his friends and a lot of mutual friends and saw everything on social media. She had, at her urging and working with Birthright as well, that morning after the ceremony, they had visited Yad Vashem, and then they went to the mount to his memorial. She told us last night that it was probably one of the hardest experiences when she was there to go visit those soldiers and to visit Max that she's ever experienced in her life. She was also incredibly depressed last night that she'd left Israel, that she had come home. She felt too soon, and felt an incredible, it was an incredible experience for her, and has never been so touched by what was going on and what continues to go on there each and every day, and that this was so close to home, that Max is truly was one of us as a Valley boy, having gone to El Camino, where I graduated high school, where many of her friends attend school, where she was in Israel at the same time that this occurred. It will forever have changed her life as well as all of ours. I really appreciate that, Bob, that you reached out and brought Max's father here and has been in touch with their family as well. This hits home for all of us, and it just is another reason we have to continuously, every day, keep Israel and all the people that are fighting in the IDF. My brother, after he went to Israel, he moved back to Israel and joined IDF as well. We've had a long experience in my family, and I really, my heart goes out to the family of all the soldiers and all the people who are and have relatives there and friends there who are going through everything they're going through on a day-to-day basis and have for decades. And we have to constantly pray and keep them in our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.